Hello, I'm Toycat, and did you know there are actually two entirely separate games called Minecraft, one of which is played by more people across more platforms, and one of which is much more popular on the internet and has been around for longer and is therefore the original. And it's so interesting to see that in my Bedrock Edition videos I upload onto YouTube, I get comments from people who primarily play Java Edition, and they'll say things like, wow, I'm so jealous of bridging out in front of you, or RTX, or they'll say the opposite, like, oh, I can't believe you live with the microtransactions in Minecraft, or the broken redstone, or whatever else it is. And it's interesting to see the Java player's perspective on Bedrock Minecraft, but I figured it might be interesting for you Java players to see the Bedrock player's perspective on the Java Edition version of the game. I don't play this version primarily anymore, and haven't since 2011, and it's so interesting to see so many different things that are better and worse. And so today I figured I'd give you 5 examples of how Java is, like annoying to me, and how it kind of is not the greatest game, and also 5 examples of how I wish Bedrock could take some things from this, and maybe we can all learn things from each other to make Minecraft as a whole better, or maybe you can just be mad in the comments and defend Java Edition. You know, that's how videos criticizing something's always going to go, because my first criticism about the Java edition of Minecraft is honestly going to have to be the fact that multiplayer is kind of hard to do. I know you just have to get a server, or you just have to pay for a Realm subscription, which if I'm not mistaken is more expensive here, or you just have to know that, like, oh yeah, there's this mod you can download where Open to LAN, which by the way, Open to LAN also allows cheats things. You can actually do that online if you just use a little plugin or a tool that you download. Otherwise, it's not easy to get players playing on the Java Edition, and that's ignoring the fact that they also have to be playing Java, which is only available on PC, Mac, and Linux. On the other hand, if I'm playing on my Xbox, which is primarily where I play Bedrock Minecraft, sometimes on the Windows 10, I can play with people on their Android phones, their Nintendo Switches, their TVs, for God's sake. It's crazy the number of platforms that can just join my world if I press one button and invite them. But where is the invite button for Java? It's around here somewhere. I'll find it. It's got to be in the options, right? No, there's no option for that. You have to do external things if you want to play multiplayer, and although that's fine that you might be willing to do that, if you're a hardcore player, of course you don't mind downloading a desktop app or something like that to play, with other friends. However, your friend is not going to be willing to do that so much, and I've heard of so many situations where people want to play Minecraft together, but it's just awkward for one of them, and so they end up just paying for a server, and having to pay for a server is not the ideal state of being, in my opinion, especially if you just want to show someone your world for a minute. Like, that's how I like to do things. I play a lot of solo, but sometimes I like people to join me, and you can't really do that so easily on Java. Sorry for the criticism there. It's made even more confusing by the fact that there is a multiplayer option, but that multiplayer option is just for servers, and so if you are new to Minecraft, if you don't, again, you have to know what you're doing with Java Edition to get multiplayer, because you might think like, oh, I'll just join my friend. Where's my friend at? He'll be somewhere around here, right? And then so many people don't know how that works, and they end up playing a lot of public servers as their only way to connect with friends, which is fine. I mean, again, there are very popular servers based around that. However, it is a downside, but to cool you down from that little bit of a criticism, how about I tell you one of my favorite things about Java, and that has to be the world creation. I mean, it's a bit more basic, but I like that it's basic. Instead of having all these trillions of options, it's just, here are the things. You can go into the game rules if you want to, but it's a whole separate menu. And then way more importantly, the world options gives you default. Sure, that's what you get on Bedrock. It gives you super flat, you get that on Bedrock without the customize button, and then you also have old on Bedrock, you don't get here, but instead what you get is you get single biome, you get caves, you get floating islands, you get customizable super flats. I can create my own super flat if I want to. It's actually kind of annoying. Yeah, outside of these presets, you basically have to do it outside the game, so again, it takes some effort, but like, even if we ignore super flat though, because that's outside the game, if you want an amplified world, that's incredible. You want a single biome world, you better believe we can do that, even using cave biomes if you are in 1.17 or the snapshots, but we're getting ahead of ourselves here, I think, because the interesting thing, as you can see, is that there's so many options for making a world from scratch, and I like that. I wish there were more of them. They used to have more options for customizing a world. They removed because it was too easy to use. Was the only thing I can explain. But yeah, basically Minecraft Java is so far ahead when it comes to world options, whereas if you want to do the same thing on Bedrock, because they are competing with the store for doing so, I just don't think they have the motivation to put people on that. Whereas again, on Java, making that there is no equivalent system, they have the incentive to make the world generation options as good as they can be, and I'm very glad that's a thing. I like Java for that reason. Yeah, we hinted at microtransactions, but we're not going to go too much further in this video because, like, whatever. You like them or you don't. You don't have to download maps if you don't care about them. But what you do have to do when you're playing Java, because again, there is cheats are basically on by default all the time. You might say, oh yeah, you can turn off cheats when you open a world, but then even when you have cheats turned off, the open to LAN, you know, again, the only multiplayer option that the game even tells you about, which is only for local area network, people on your same network, of course, that same thing allows you to just turn off cheats with no consequences for that session, which is what people do all the time. That it's a widely known exploit they've kept in the game specifically so you can go back and forth. And you know, like, again, a lot of people don't mind cheating themselves. They like being the tool for themselves. But I've seen so many people ruin their own worlds because they're like, yeah, I'll just go into creative to get this one thing. And it's like, oh, I've been in creative for the one thing. What's the point not getting this other one thing? And then it's a whole spiral. Like, survival Minecraft is where I'm at. So what I like to do is I like to type /game mode S. You cannot do that on Java like you can on Bedrock. In fact, you can't even type /game mode you know, survival like you would normally do. It's case sensitive. Minecraft Java commands are so non-user friendly in my opinion. Like, honestly, when I played Java, but back when I played a little bit of console and a little bit of Java, I used to find it impossible to learn any of the commands. Learning commands on Bedrock, really doable. I've learned a surprising number despite not really trying to learn too much with Bedrock. When it comes to Java, I try the Bedrock command and it doesn't work, and then I have to follow this little tool that's like, oh yeah, you just have to do it that way. And sure, it's fine, it's nice, it gives you the little options to type by yourself, but I just find it to be so wildly crazy and frustrating. Like, oh yeah, the /seed is nice. Oh wait, why did /seed not work? Ah, there we go. /seed is nice as long as you do it in a case-sensitive manner. But the fact that Minecraft Java is so picky about how you type in certain commands is kind of crazy to me. Like, for real here, Minecraft gets all upset if you try to type Acacia button. It's like, no, what you need to type is Minecraft, sorry, I used a capital N there, Minecraft Acacia _button, and yeah, it's fine. You don't actually have to do that, I learned while going through this. But the fact that it's a lot of effort and it's not the most intuitive and friendly thing, I find it to be a little bit disappointing. Oh, look at this button in the air. Let's break it. Oh, this is... Why does the button stay in place even though it's in midair? I would have assumed it would fall by default, but I guess the block updating rule is different on Java. Huh. Or maybe we can just stare at this button all day. Or, instead of staring at this button, let's go into another praise, because, sure, case-sensitive commands are killing me, and also the more confusing nature of commands as a whole. There are more commands available in Java, but I find them harder to use, and, you know, maybe I'm just complaining that things are complex at this point. But if we're going to talk about complexity being a good thing, then something I do like, if we teleport ourselves, which we're going to do right now, 12 million blocks on one of the axis. I'm going to lose that cave forever now. But if we go to 12 million blocks, first of all, we find the deep slate is all the way out here. Oh, look at this. We're in a deep slate mine shaft that's also a lush cave. That's beautiful. Well, now you know the seed and you know the coordinates. You just have to walk 12 million blocks and you can find this. Wait, real quick, one more criticism. If you want to check your coordinates on Java, you press, instead of them being on screen at all times as an option, you have to press F3, and this F3 menu gives you so much information, but too much information. I don't need to see all of this. There's just so much going on, and it's fine. Like, I actually can understand all of this stuff if I look and I work it out. On the right there, you can see I've gone i7-6950X with a NVIDIA 2080 Ti with 32.0, 456.71 drivers, and I'm targeting block 12.0. Yeah, like, it tells you everything in a way that's great. I just want to see my coordinates though. And the problem with there being so much information is it actually takes a bit of effort to find your coordinates. Oh, they're all the way over there on the left because we teleported to 12 million blocks for my next point. But yeah, it's cool to see these caves, and like you already know, we're at 12 million blocks out, but you're noticing how I'm playing Minecraft, and despite being 12 million blocks away, there's no jiggity-jaggedy craziness, because Minecraft Java removed the farlands. I think this is a downside in its own right when you really think about it, but in terms of if you are playing survival the way I like to play, when you go further out, you don't get a more and more broken world. There is floating point calculation errors that used to be true on Java, but have been long since fixed, that still exist here in Bedrock, that basically lead to the problem where if you are playing, oh, look at this. If you're playing Minecraft Bedrock and you go past 1 million blocks, the world gets a little bit weirder, to say the least. Once you go past 12 million blocks, things get so broken you can't even place blocks correctly. You'll fall through the world, and so will animals. And basically, the Farlands is a thing that is a problem as well as a curse, whereas Minecraft Java does not have a Farlands. Instead, what happens is you can teleport to, okay, you can't teleport to, we're gonna go to 29, 9, you know, should we just type all the 9s ourselves? We're just gonna go to 29, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. And as you can see, there is instead this big world border. I think the world border is a more interesting situation that makes the screen red, apparently. Oh, I'm trapped on one side of the world border. Oh, there we go. As you can see, this is the world border. It is a thing that exists to stop you going past it. Oh, look, it makes the screen red because it's hot, it's lasers. It's a really interesting thing about Java that you're never gonna make it to in survival, but the whole, again, the world barrier is not only an interesting concept that stops the world's breaking, you know, again, the world is actually infinite in Minecraft Java, but they stopped it, but the world barrier can be used for all sorts of interesting things that I always have loved the idea of. Like, having limited sized worlds, limited by the magic barrier that you can physically see, is much better than the barrier block, which is a Bedrock exclusive, and so, oh, sorry, the wall block. Barrier is obviously on both platforms. Give address barrier block. There we go. Now you don't have to leave a comment saying that it's exclusive. I meant something else. I'm so sorry. Anyway, so the barrier block, not exclusive. Kind of cool, right? If you put out a different block, it stops existing. Ooh, yeah, but then you put it out again, and there are the barriers. Wow, so interesting. But the barrier to the world is exclusive to Java, and I really just, I like, look at that. There's a ruined portal over there I want to go and see, but I can't. Is that good or bad? I don't know, but this is interesting to me. So now we're back in creative after typing needlessly specific commands, and now I can talk about the next thing that I find annoying about Java, because again, because I don't play much here, I tend to play a lot of creative, so I can show things off for videos, and the creative menu on Java does have some benefits, but it also has some pretty weird downsides. The biggest and most annoying is if you want a lot of blocks. Let's say you want every single block that has copper in the name. You want the lightly waxed, you know, what is it? The lightly weather waxed exposed cut copper stairs, or you want instead the waxed weather cut copper stairs, and you want to get all of these blocks in your inventory at one time. And obviously, what you would do on Bedrock is you shift click, or press Y if you're in a controller, you get all of those things into your inventory like that. On Java, you have to manually drag, you can either drag 1, or you can drag 2, or whatever number, you have to manually drag it to your inventory. And it's so annoying, and the reason it's so annoying is because I understand, yeah, the idea of having a stack, that's great, but let's just move that stack straight to my inventory, because Minecraft even knows that the shift clicking is so convenient, because if you want to clear your inventory, you just shift click everything away. It's wonderful. Why can't I shift click it to my inventory? You can do that on Bedrock, even with a single block. It knows that if you're picking something in the creative inventory, you want it in your regular inventory. I don't just click things because I'm like, what is this block? No, I click it because I want it there. Why do I have to do that myself? Shift clicking is, and you know, like convenient shift clicks are a really good Java feature that came there fast and were the inspiration for all of them on Bedrock, but I just don't know why that's not true. Especially if something like an axe, right? Like the axe comes in 1. You don't get 64 axes, so why is it that if I click it, I get 1 axe I have to move, and if I shift click, I get 1 axe that I have to move? Again, it's a very minor concern, like, you know, I don't do it very often, but every time I'm just like, this is bad design. I can't see the great justification for it, and either can these lovely gentlemen over here, and I just want to point that out, you know. Oh, they're ignoring me. How nice. Anyway, so with that said, let's move on to the next thing, because every time we give some criticism, we give some praise, so as not to upset the people who play Java and think that any criticism of their game must therefore implicitly be a love for the microtransaction version of the game, and therefore implicitly is a comment about their soul, and is therefore actually a criticism of them as a person. No, it's all right. We all want Minecraft to be better, and some way we can make Minecraft better is the creative tabs need to be better on both versions, but Java has better tabs than Bedrock. So as you can see, there are 9 tabs here. I don't know why 9. It seems like an arbitrary number. There is building blocks, decoration, redstone, transport, miscellaneous, foodstuffs, tools, combat, and brewing. I would argue combat and tools might as well be the same tab, especially because they put the enchantments split between the two of them. There's no good reason that I can see to distinguish these two, especially since swords do occasionally work as tools, and especially since I use a crossbow as a tool. But sure, whatever. So there's 9 tabs. There should be 8, perhaps we could argue. But then the 9 tabs is a much better solution than Bedrock, where it's 4 tabs, and the 4 tabs have a lot of overlap. Like, what is building versus what is natural? How do I know that obsidian, is this natural or is this a building block? It's hard to be certain. Obviously, it's natural, because Minecraft is a game where nothing is really truly natural, right? It's a very hard thing to talk about, and so yeah, one of the things I really love about Java is the creative inventory is more logically organized. So yeah, I love that Java has the saved hotbars, even though I haven't used them since they came out. But it's a fun idea that I'd love to learn if I was playing this game a lot. The search tool seems to be more effective here. Maybe I'm just crazy about that one. Also, the tabs are generally more effective. I don't like the golden carrots are brewing rather than food. They're the best food in the game. What are they doing over here? They're the only food that's stored here instead, even though, like, why, for instance, now we're getting really far in here, but why is it that sugar is miscellaneous instead of brewing or food, when it's clearly both of those? I mean, it's not very good food, but it's brewing at the very least, right? But then the golden carrot, which is clearly food, is here. Okay, so that's one of my complaints. But one of the things I love, one of the things that's really handy, is you can press, if you want to move something around your inventory in creative, you just press that number on your hotbar and it moves. You want to move the waxed cut copper stairs over to the 9th slot, press 9 on them. You want to move this to the 1st slot, press 1. And yeah, I think that's an incredibly useful little feature. But again, it never tells you about it. Minecraft is a great game and doesn't need a tutorial, but some of these features it feels like, you kind of do need a tutorial for it. Like, one of the reasons I've always liked making tutorial videos on my channel is because Minecraft just doesn't provide the information in a lot of cases. Even though Minecraft console had a tutorial, we all know that. We all love this sign when we see it. Minecraft Bedrock has a bunch of like files you can read in the game code, but truthfully, it's not the right way to learn Minecraft. There are better ways to learn Minecraft. And, maybe that's why you need the internet. Maybe that's why Minecraft YouTube is so successful. Like, by accident, by making a game that was so unfriendly. Like, how was I meant to learn the fact that we can, there's so many weird things that you can only learn by playing the game and by watching a video or seeing it from someone else. And I think that was one of the biggest accidentally great things Minecraft ever did. And speaking of accidentally great things Minecraft has done, you notice how I'm playing in 1.17, but as I record this video, you can check the date if you want, 1.17 isn't out. How's that possible? Because of snapshots. And snapshots are really easy on the Java edition. However, it's not the only thing that's great about Java. The fact that you can go back in time to previous versions with a instant click is so much better than the way it works on Bedrock. Bedrock basically forces you to play the modern version of the game. This is how most video games work. I understand why they chose that way, but Minecraft Java just lets you pick what version of the game you're playing. Do you want to get stuck in 1.8 because you prefer the combat? What's all this shield nonsense? What's all this crazy arrow nonsense? I don't understand it. I don't know what tridents are. Is it a sword or is it a bow? Make up your mind. Why are you both? You can go, oh, I'm sorry. But if you want to go back to a time before tridents because they keep destroying your minecarts and indeed your soul when you hit the wrong thing, you can choose to do that. In fact, let's choose to do that right now. Oh, and because we're going back to this previous version, we can actually customize our world type. Look at all these settings we have. Again, it's complex. You probably don't even know what you're doing, but the fact that you can just choose, like, yeah, what if we just made an iron ore world? Wouldn't that be great? Also, I want lots of noise. What does noise mean? Again, these aren't your issues to care about. So we're gonna go into a brand new world in 1.12 because I hate tridents. In fact, I want to go back to a world where Minecraft didn't make good updates. The update Aquatic, the Village and Pillage, the Never update, they're just all such good updates, and that makes me mad. I don't want to play good video games. I want to play bad video games. So here we are in 1.12. You probably can't even spot the difference, actually. Can you tell this is 1.12? You can tell because, my oceans, they're boring again. Thank God. Wait, let's find a village. Oh, locate didn't exist. Let's find a village. Let's make sure that's also boring again. I just get really upset by new features. Like, oh, I hope the Nether is also a slash set block. Oh, there's no thing to tell you you're doing commands right. You just gotta hope. Oh, that's crazy. That's actually Minecraft Java commands used to be even less friendly, and I don't believe that. Oh, thank God the Nether is in fact boring. Oh, it's good. We're fine. Oh, going back to older versions is obviously a really fun thing to do. Not because I think it's boring and like I think it's a good way to see how Minecraft used to be. I don't like that you can't play older versions of Bedrock, partially because there's obviously speedrunning benefits to playing older versions. Maybe there shouldn't be, you could argue, but there is. And also, oh god, it's so weird being here right now. This is the worst frame rate. Why is it so terrible? I wonder. Did the game used to be less optimized or something? Anyway, so also we check our creative inventory. Oh, I really hope they haven't added any. I don't know. What a fish look like, I guess. Oh, thank God, it's still the clownfish, not the tropical fish. Yeah, this is wonderful going back to this previous version. By the way, can I really go in on the fact that there is no proper way to indicate, like, legit survival world? And I guess you could argue, like, philosophically speaking, any way that you would verify a legit survival world, someone can fake somewhere. Sure, I get that. But I don't like the fact that there's no, like, way the game is telling you, yes, this is a survival world. If you play creative, it will be forever marked. And then, you know, like, a little bit of a disincentive to doing so. It's a weird thing to ask for, but it's something I value as, like, a thing that makes me feel like I'm not just wasting my time by mining in survival, because yeah, like it's maintaining that flag or whatever. Like having some thin veil that you need to do something as opposed to just choosing to do something is great. Whereas again, this is one of my speedrun seeds to the best of my knowledge, and all I have to do if I want to is just be like, oh yeah, we'll just hop into open to LAN, allow cheats on, start LAN world, and then we can game mode creative. And boom, now we're in creative. We just did that to ourselves, except now I've done my creative thing. I give myself the dragon egg. Yeah, I want, oh, the dragon egg isn't in creative. It's only available by commands. So now I have to use the darn command system that we all hate, and I have to give myself a dragon egg. There we go, 100 of them, I guess. And boom, now I've got 100 dragon eggs, which show up as purple. And I got the next generation achievement. Because even the achievements don't care if you're in creative. Which is, like, I get it. There's no Xbox Live requirement for them to care. But it just feels very weird. Like, I love the idea of having achievements. I don't love the idea of having achievements that don't care what you're doing or why. And I guess, like, I understand that Minecraft operates on an honor-based system in the Java version. But you know what? I'm not an honorable person. So I don't like honor-based systems. And, oh god, oh lord. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. We'll just drop enough end eggs on here. Man, this is why I'm sad you don't have enough end eggs in survival. You can't make stuff like this. You have to hop into creative if you want to do that, but that's why we don't do that. Okay, you know, I'm not making the best point here, so what I'll say instead is, you know, creeper go boom, am I right? Huh, the dragon eggs all survived. Okay, my final big criticism, I'll totally understand is a preference thing, but it's a preference I don't have and despise. It's how Java flying works. Again, we're talking about creative mostly, I guess. Honestly, yeah, most of my positives are about Java survival. Most of my negatives are about Java creative. But when you're flying around in Java, you look something like this, right? You go pretty fast, and I like that. I like that they upped the speed semi-recently. It's good the speed you go at, but when you stop flying, because I want to land right here, you just kind of fly right over it. It's very, like, trying to get to a specific block is very hard. You have to kind of time it so you slow down right in front of it. And I don't understand why that's true. In Bedrock, you stop, I think it's called on a dime, which is a weird way to say it, but you stop instantly on Bedrock. You don't stop instantly on Java, which is, I would say, mildly frustrating by itself. Like, why do we be like that? But the more frustrating thing than that, because it seems like this is a preference-based moving system, and someone just has wrong preferences, but wrong preferences don't exist, besides, again, people who play Java. Oh yeah, sick burn, I'm just kidding. But the preference that I think is objectively incorrect here is if you want to build, let's say, a tower going right up like this, right? You fly upwards and you hold down right click and it doesn't work. What you have to do is you have to fly upwards and you have to spam right click and pray that you spam the right click fast enough. You can't just hold it down, you have to spam click it. And I don't know why that's true, and you still mess it up sometimes. And it's true going sideways too. You try to hold down and you have to like kind of moderate your flying. If you look, I'm like kind of moving backwards slowly at different points in time. I should be able to just fly this way, hold down the right click and have it work. Why is that not true? Again, it's such a basic functionality that like anyone who's played any amount of creative, which is one of the two modes, and clearly it's a mode they don't mind you playing based on the fact that you unlock achievements via it, but still, despite that fact, they've never actually flown to do things. And in fact, it seems like they've never flown and tried to land somewhere, because I find that impossible too. Maybe this is just my Bedrock vision clouding me, but it's just something I can't stand about Java. And maybe you don't realize that it's missing on the other side, just like the bridging out in front of you thing that people always comment on. Why should I have to build like this? Why can't I just, like the block's right there, what other block would I be referring to when I try to place it there? Just know I mean on the side of this block. over here. Because this is really risky to do. And you have to, like, on Java, you have to learn this whole, like, jump placing strategy. It's insane. I don't want to do that. That's crazy. So yeah, that's my final criticism. So something else that's wonderful about Minecraft, regardless of whether you're going back in time to the Nether or not, it has to be this, the cape thing. So as you can see, I have a cape. I went to Minecon real life when Minecon didn't mean some weird live show. I went to Minecon in 2015 because I like Minecraft. So I went to a convention, and as a reward for going to a convention, I got myself this cape. And let's be honest, the cape, I could say I like it because it's a reward for your dedication to the game. No, I like the cape because it's a flex. Do you have a cape? Oh, you don't have a cape. That's just me with my cape from Minecon 2015. Oh, it's okay, you can get a cape. No, you can't get a cape. They were available at Minecon 2015, have not been available since. Do you want an iron golem on your back? You have to download a mod, and I won't see that iron golem because I have the official iron golem cape. Wow, yeah, that's nice. So obviously, the cape thing I'm being exaggerating off, but I really do like the fact that skins on Java are effectively showcasing achievement. Like, you get one for being a mod, like an admin on the feedback site. You get one for translating the game, or mostly you get one for going to a physical event. Like, it's a commemorative thing. However, you know, even though I'm saying this is a positive, realistically, people say they hate Minecraft Bedrock microtransactions. Like, I hate the idea of spending $2 on a skin, but then people like me will spend $120 going in person and getting a tiny cape, little addition to my skin. And it's like, huh, there's something weird about that. I also went to Minecon 2016. I got free capes, and somehow I didn't apply any of them to my account, and all of the codes stopped working. My plan was to, like, be a scalper and, like, use them as some, like, grand prize for a Minecraft event. Like, instead of you know, giving away $100 in cash or something, I'd give away, like, a cape worth 500. But I lost all three, so I only have my 2015 cape, by the way. So sad, right? You know what doesn't happen? That doesn't happen on the Bedrock edition, though. And yeah, honestly, this whole video is mostly just here to say, hey, Bedrock and Java are different versions of the game. A lot of people don't realize that till I make these videos, but also people don't realize that even though they are fundamentally the same, they do be different in lots of ways. And maybe you know that having watched this video now, or maybe what you think is actually, no, that's wrong. I love the way Java movement works. I love the way, oh god, it's so bizarre. I love going back in time, and you know, I think all of the bad things you said are good things. I like that I have to move the item, because it gives me time to think about whether I truly want the sapling, or the sponge, or whatever else. Oh god, I always forget that glass used to look this way. It blows my mind that the glass texture basically didn't used to be glass. Like, you just can't see anything through this. Like, it's not glass, it is an ugly shield to the world. But anyway, I hope you'll enjoy this video, because I'll see you all in the next one, unless there's a tragic house fire. Goodbye. Which you can avoid by being subscribed to the channel, according to these statistics. Okay, thank you. Gotta plug the subscribe link, right? If you don't tell people to subscribe, are you even a YouTuber? I would say not. Goodbye.